Welcome to the Heart of a Viking. This channel offers elementary art lessons taught by Mrs. Minto from the Cape Henlopen School District in Delaware. I look forward to virtually creating with you. There are new lessons posted weekly. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss a single one. So go grab your art supplies and your thinking caps and let's begin. Alright artists, welcome back, and today we're starting with our bright yellow space. It looks like a sun shining bright, nice and warm. For this one we're going to need a piece of yellow paper. I actually have something here called foam paper. If you have that, you can grab some of that. If not, just plain old yellow paper will work, and if you don't have yellow, grab a piece of white, color it yellow really quick, and then you'll have yellow paper too. Okay, so I'm going to start by making a couple of dots on my yellow paper. The first dot is going to go in the bottom left corner of that paper, then a matching one in the bottom right corner. This time I want one at the top in the middle, and then a matching one at the bottom in the middle. So now let's connect the dots. First, bottom left to top, then top to bottom right, and then finally straight down the center. Perfect. Now use straight scissors to cut those out. When you're done, you should have 4 triangles. Perfect. Now, I'm going to pretend like the sun is in one of the corners and the bright, warm rays of the sun are shining down. So now I'm going to play with my triangles and see if I can make them look like the sun is shining down. Now, I'm starting to notice that some of my angles of my triangles aren't exactly working for what I'm about to do. So I'm trimming them a little bit so they look more like average traditional triangles. That's okay, you can absolutely do that too. Once you have your 4 triangles cut and placed where they look like the sun shining out of that one corner, I'd like for you to glue them down. Okay, so now we're moving on to the sunset space. That one represents fall, where it's kind of like the seasons are changing. It's going from warm to cool. And in this space, I'm going to be cutting my pipe cleaner in half to make wind. So you need to grab your pipe cleaner and we're going to be cutting it in half next. Okay, we're going to start by folding it in half. And we're going to use that loop at the one end to help us to cut. To cut, you sort of pull down with your holding hand as you chomp the scissors with your other hand. Those 2 actions will make it easy to cut that pipe cleaner. Then I'm going to use my finger because it's round. You could also use a pencil or a marker or something, but I'm going to wrap it around my finger to make a little loop on the end. And I'm kind of picturing the wind that lots of artists draw with the swirls on the end as my sort of inspiration here. So I bent the one end and now I'm about to bend the other end. And then just kind of play with it until it looks like wind to you. And then once you have one done, go ahead and do the second one. So now let's grab a pencil, and I'm going to hold my pipe cleaner where I want it to be and trace just that long middle part. I don't need to trace the swirls, just that long middle part where you want them to be. Now the reason we did that is because we're going to use some of this kind of glue. This glue is called Elmer's glue, and it's a little bit better for gluing down things like pipe cleaners. And I'm tracing my white Elmer's glue right wherever I had drawn my line, and then I'm going to push my pipe cleaner into that line. It is not going to be flat. You're going to get glue on your fingers, but I promise you, if you let this dry, that pipe cleaner will be stuck and strong onto your piece of paper. But you have to let it dry. You can't mess with it. You can't move your paper around or try and check. You need to wait until the white glue turns clear, then you know that it's dry. You can also do what I'm doing here and put the glue bottle on the pipe cleaners for a little while to sort of press them down as you are letting it dry, and then eventually we'll start moving on to the other space. Okay, once you feel like that has been drying for a little while and the glue is starting to turn clear on your paper, you're going to pick up your glue bottle, open it back up, and on our very last space, one of my favorites with the salt, we're going to put some little dots of glue. When you make your dots of glue, I have some tips here. You want to squeeze gently, stop squeezing, and then lift up your glue bottle. If you make little marks like I'm making here, then go ahead and use your finger to rub them away. We want these to be the littlest, tiniest little dots. Now, after you've made a bunch of these, you can make as many as you want. Then I'm going to use some glitter to sprinkle over top of the little dots of glue, and the glitter will stick to wherever the glue is. If you don't have any glitter, that's okay. Just let the glue dry, and they will dry 3D, meaning that the little spots wherever the glue was will dry kind of raised up and will look like snowflakes too. But if you have glitter, go ahead and sprinkle some glitter onto that white glue. Hey, did you see my mistake? I rushed a little too fast. My poor wind was not stuck yet. So instead of getting upset or worried, I'm just gonna pick it up, put it back on, and let it dry. No big deal. In addition to letting my wind dry a little bit longer, I also need to let those little glue dots with the white glitter on the snow dry as well. Because if I touch those now, it's definitely gonna make a huge mess. I need to wait until the glue is clear before I can do the next step. All right, so once those are dry, if you have gold glitter, then you can join me on this next one. If you don't, then that's okay. You don't have to do this next part, or you can invent another way to make these rays of the sun look even hotter too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Elmer's glue again, and I'm going to make one little dot in each of the little triangles. And then I'm going to either use the tip of the glue bottle to smear the glue around the triangle space, or I'm going to use my finger. I actually prefer to use my finger, but you can definitely use the glue bottle if you don't want to get your finger all gluey. Then once the glue has been smeared around, I'm going to clean off my finger by just sort of rubbing it against the other fingers and letting it flake and dry off. And then I'm going to use my gold glitter to sprinkle on those triangles. And then I will shake off all of the extra glitter, put it back in my container to use another time. And then I'll have some really hot looking sun rays. Well, there you have it, third grade artists. Our pictures are finally complete. And I'm wondering something. I'm wondering if you have made a connection with what you were learning with your classroom teachers, because it's my understanding that the third grade classes are learning about weather right now. So I wonder if you have made that connection. I hope you have anyways. All right, so I hope you enjoy this picture. I think it's beautiful. Could you imagine this being hung up in your house for everyone to see? I think it's fantastic, and it could be hung up all year long because it has all the different types of weather in it. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Put this somewhere where everyone can see it, and I'll see you back here next time at the Heart of a Viking. HOB artists, don't forget to hop on over to Art Sonia to upload a photograph of your piece of artwork to your art portfolio. I can't wait to see it.